Adderall. Let's talk about it. What's going on? I'm the OCPD coach, Shannon Williams, and it's going to be a really, really interesting video today because we are going to talk about ADHD medication. At least the medication I take that I like and that I think you should know about. Now, you're probably coming into this video because I titled this something very, very catchy like some things you should know before taking Adderall. And if I did, then great job on me for titling that video that way. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this probably won't be as long as my typical videos, but I will try to break this down for you as best as possible and give you as much information as I can about the Adderall that I've taken or the medication I've taken and the side effects of it. I will preface this video by saying this. If you are somebody who is prone to having any form of substance abuse issues or you get easily addicted to things, please consult and be honest with whoever your psychiatrist is and your just any other professional that you want to seek help with. Doctors, be honest with them. Please don't mess your life up because it's not worth it, and it is possible. I will say that I've never done alcohol. I've never done drugs. I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed. I don't vape. I don't do any of that stuff. So for me, taking it, it was very low risk. It was something where I knew that I would only take up to a certain amount. And I have to preface this also by saying that my old director is the person who taught me about this medication because he also had experiences using it as well. And he taught me about some of the dangers of it. And he also told me that if you do it the right way, it could be extremely helpful. And I can tell you very much that the medication that I've taken has been extremely helpful. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more. Let me get specific. I like being specific. I want to give you as much information as I possibly can, right? So this is the thing. I take generic Adderall. I'm not paying, I think it was $300. It was some crazy amount. I'm not paying that much. But what I do is I do 20 milligrams of amphetamine salts, generic Adderall. And I'm trying to see if it has the XR on here, but maybe it's IR. So I do immediate release, not extended release. The immediate release, I'm able to take 2 of these a day, and I can space them out however I want to. You don't do caffeine with it or anything like that. But I used to take XR, which was the extended release, and that one you would only need it 1 time a day, but you would have to take it much earlier and it would last much longer, obviously. And I have a few things that I want to just start off by giving you the lay of the land on. A, these can impact your appetite 100%. I lost weight when I first started taking the Adderall because I would take them in the morning and I would have no appetite for 5 or 6 hours. And I think I was even at that point in time, I was on the XR. So I was able to go a lot longer than that, probably 8 or 10 hours with no eating. Mind you, this is right after I was just bulking. I was just doing huge portions of food, a full serving of pancakes with extra protein powder, 5 eggs, bacon, everything whole in one meal. And that was just for breakfast. And I was still eating a lot of food on top of that, where I would eat probably 5 or 6 pieces of catfish, some rice, and I was bulking. I was working out. So when I started taking this, I actually started losing weight because I stopped eating. And I stopped having an appetite. It wasn't even something I did on purpose. I literally had no appetite. Even now, I took Adderall earlier today, and my Adderall wore off probably around 7 o'clock because I'm so tired. But the effects of me not having an appetite still persist. So there are days where I can take my Adderall and eat 1 time in a single day. There have been days where I've been able to take it and not eat at all, which should not do that. And that is something that happens unconsciously. And that is where we're starting this video. Be mindful of your timing of the medication you take. For me, what I like to do is this. I split it up to do the not the XR, the immediate release where I can take it 2 times a day because there will be a lot of times where I would not want to eat early in the morning. But if I took the XR, the extended release, too late, then I would be wired all night long and I wouldn't be able to sleep. So me switching to the 2 tablets a day allowed me to say, if I just want to take 1 in a day, which is typically what I do, I can wait. I can eat me some food, get full, And then 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if I need a little bit of inspiration, I can go ahead and take that and not be up the entire night. So that is something that you got to get figured out. If you want to lose weight, then that's a plus for you to be on it and take it in the morning. But if you want to maintain your weight, or if you're afraid that you might not eat, then you should always eat first and then take the Adderall after that. Which takes me to my next point. With the Adderall that you choose, or I'll just say the medication that you choose, I think there were stimulants and non-stimulants. I think that's how they broke it up. Don't quote me on it. But I remember I started off on non-stimulants and I didn't feel anything. So as soon as I requested stimulants, I was able to feel the impact and I got things done, which is crazy. I need you to understand this. My bathroom, I remodeled my entire bathroom. Tore the shower out, tore the tub out, tore the sink out. Get hiccups, sorry. All right, had hiccups. But yeah, I tore all of that out, poured a new shower, floor inside of it, put new walls up, the door, whatever the door board was. This was like 2 years ago now. So I can put new tiles up and everything. But I had that project waiting for probably 3 or 4 months after I poured it, because I didn't like how it came out and I didn't have the energy to break it apart and redo it. So that project sat for months. Why is it? As soon as I started taking my stimulant Adderall, I finished the entire thing in a week. It was the craziest thing. It was what I said about it could be your superpower if you know how to manage it correctly. That's exactly what it was. I was able to do something to completion, and it helped my confidence, where I said, wow, this is all I was needing to help me get over the hump that I get stuck in a lot of times, where I don't like how something's coming out and I don't have energy to redo it. So I just walk away. That is something that convinced me enough where I said, okay, cool. I'll get a little bit of an increase, and I stay at 20. I don't go over 20. I think I did 25 when I had the XR. That's the highest I ever went. And when you go up to 20, you have to get what is it called when they scan your heart? Whatever one it is when they scan your heart. I keep wanting to say MRI, but I do not think that's what it is. But yeah, they want to scan your heart, because these do impact your heart, and I know that they want to make sure that there are no potential dangers that come with it. The next thing, caffeine. They do not recommend that you do caffeine with this, because I know caffeine does something to your heart as well. And I had a story where I thought I was going to die one time when I drank a Red Bull, because I drank the whole thing at one time not knowing how to drink it, and it was just ridiculous. My heart was like, I'm sitting in the van like this, and I thought it was over. I thought it was over Red Bull, and I didn't know that it was really going to give me wings. So it was something that definitely scared the heck out of me, and I do not like playing with anything heart related. So do not do caffeine. Do not drink caffeine or take caffeine or anything like that if you are on Adderall. The next thing that I have on here is probably one of the more important ones that I was taught, luckily, before I took it, but I don't know how many people really take heed of it. It is, oh man, I just thought about Michael Scott. The take heed, take head. That whole conversation just popped in my head just now. But breaking. This was something that I still do it, and I'm able to do it really, really well, where I can go an entire week without taking it and then pick back up as I need it. That is something that helps the Adderall remain potent for you, where you don't have to consistently ask for increases in dosage and say, okay, 20 milligrams isn't doing anything anymore. Can I get 30? No, this isn't doing anything. Can I get 35? Can I get 40? Just keep going up, higher and higher. You're going to keep running to the same thing because your body's building up the tolerance. So what I like to do no more than 3 days in a row. I normally would do 2 days on where I take it once in a day just to help me through. And then I take at least a day off. I sometimes, as I said, take up to a week off if I'm just not feeling it. What I noticed, though, is that these things will keep you up. They will definitely keep you up. As a matter of fact, I messed myself up last night because I took my 2, but I think it was the timing of when I took my 2 that made it didn't leave my system fast enough. So I literally didn't fall asleep until at least 4:30 in the morning, and I had to get right back up because I had a meeting for work this morning. So you have to be careful when you take these and how you time it, because they will ruin your sleep. What I do have though is a remedy. If you are one of these people who you took it too late by mistake and you're like, oh man, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm still firing on all cylinders, I'm not sleepy yet, that is when it's an issue. And I recommend these blueberry white peach teas. This is something where it is I think it has, so it's zero sugar, no preservatives, naturally flavored, helps support a healthy sleep cycle. And there is chamomile extract, L-theanine, ashwagandha root, extract root, lavender extract, gamma amino butyric acid. I don't know what that is. It's kind of concerning. But the biggest thing for me was melatonin. So it's 5 milligrams of melatonin. And when I tell you these work, I'm going to bang one. I'm recording the rest of these videos so I can have all of these ready to go and be ready to upload whenever I'm ready to upload. But this is going to put me to sleep fast. And I'll show you this, because I'm not big on taking stuff to go to sleep. I never cared for stuff like that, but I specifically looked for something that would work. These work because your eyes start getting heavy. When your eyes start getting heavy, when it's hard for you to keep your eyes open, then you picked a good product. And I would tell you about these. These might make you sleep in a little later. So if you want to take this, try to take it around 11 o'clock, midnight, some point in time where you won't wake up too late. But try it out. They're on Amazon. They come in cases of 12, and I put them in the fridge. They taste good enough. It doesn't really have a taste, but it tastes good enough, and it works. That's the biggest thing. I'm able to fall asleep. So I'm actually excited to drink this. I grabbed it. My wife was asleep and it's cold, and I know as soon as I'm done recording these videos, I'm cracking it open, drink half of it, and just start going through the motions of getting this thing in my system so I can sleep well. I'm trying to think of what else is really valuable information for this, but I don't want to just ramble about it. I will say that there are a lot of stigmas when it comes to taking medication and the different side effects of all of that, and that has to be obviously taken case by case. But I was the type of person who was against medication. I did not want to take medication for anything at all. I remember I had anxiety medication that they gave me for some reason, and I didn't take any of it. So when I got this Adderall, I said, let me try it and let me just see. Let me see if it works. And it changed my life. One of the biggest side effects, and I'll make another video of it about this, but it makes you more in the moment. And that's what I'll leave there for right now. But it makes you more in the moment. And a lot of times with ADHD, that is one of the best things we can ask for. All right. So I'm wrapping this video up just because I am at just about 15 minutes and I have a lot more I'll talk about in another video. But if you like this content, I need you to do me a favor. Go ahead and leave a like. I don't know why it keeps taking me to that every time I hit that. Leave a like, subscribe, and let me know if you are on any medication right now, if you like it, if you have any side effects. And also, if you're not on medication, is there a reason why you are afraid, or are you just against it? It is your prerogative. But I always just like to hear people's thoughts and perspectives on things like this. And yeah, I'm loving this content. Making these long videos where I don't have to edit and spend all this time. That helps my ADHD, because then I don't have to dedicate so much time in my head to editing. I can make my videos, make them intentional, spend about 15 minutes on them, upload them, tag them well, give a thumbnail, and good to go. So I'll see y'all on the next one. I want you to keep fighting for your life. Peace.